The Soccer Ashes, it's an interesting trophy, but it's been missing for 70 years.
This trophy, which ought to have been one of the pinnacle objects in the history of the Australian and New Zealand games, it doesn't exist anymore and nobody knows where it is. I mean, it's astonishing.
And we've put out all points bulletins and all sorts of things, and we can't get any purchase. It really does feel like it's lost. But what we hope is that no one would throw it away. So someone's sitting there in someone's cupboard and they don't quite know what it is, but it's too beautiful to throw away. And that's a faint dream, isn't it? But anyway, we'll see what happens. Who knows? Who knows where that will go.
You found it.
No, you're taking the piss.
Wow, we've got it? This is it. Oh man, what a treasure.
Am I allowed to cry on camera? This trophy is symbolic of something really important, and its discovery is also really important as well. It's the trophy and its absence, its missingness, was a symptom of Australian soccer's tendency to forget itself. And it's also particularly poignant because they symbolise the game's participation in World War I, and in an interesting way, the participation in World War I is what hurts the game. The game, so many of its players get killed. Like there's something like maybe 4,000 soccer players go to World War I, something like 500 of them get killed.
Our first full international matches between Australia and New Zealand were in 1922 in New Zealand, and the return tour in Australia in 1923. There wasn't a trophy to play for, and nobody really thought about inaugurating a trophy until the Australian part of the tours, the two tours, when it was suggested that a proper Ashes trophy should be there to commemorate this momentous event of both countries having their first ever full A international matches.
Little inscription. This safety razor case was at the landing of the Australian and New Zealand forces at Gallipoli and contains the ashes of cigars smoked by G. Campbell, the New Zealand captain, and A. Gibb, Australian captain, at a banquet held at Brisbane on the 9th of June 1923 and Sydney on the 16th of June 1923.
At that time, any kind of sporting contest was referred to as the Ashes. You know, your suburban team against mine would be talking about this inter-suburban Ashes contest. You know, and that's what we'd be claiming to win. The razor case, which had belonged to the Queensland Association manager, had been to Gallipoli. They suggested that the ashes of two cigars, smoked by the two captains of the teams, Alec Gibb and George Campbell, be in this razor case.
And then they encased it in woods from both Australia and New Zealand. So it was played for several times, and the last time was in 1954.
It's packed with so much imagery about the unity of the two countries and the reference to the recent experience of fighting shoulder to shoulder during the First World War. This had already assumed a kind of legendary status in the life of both countries, that this is where, you know, sacrifices had been made by the men fighting in the armed forces from both countries for a common enemy. So again, it's this little emblem, to my mind anyway, more of unity than it is of opposition, which I think is kind of intriguing for a trophy commemorating a sporting contest.